Hey, what's up guys? It's Chuck from Brady Adventures, and I finally bit the bullet and ordered a rear bumper for my 100 Series Land Cruiser. I decided to go with Dissent Off-Road, and I wanted to go through some of the features of that bumper and why I chose it. I also had a really cool conversation with Ben Calhoun from Dissent Off-Road, and we discussed powder coating the bumper, steel versus aluminum, some of the accessories that Ben has available for the bumpers, and we also discussed how he handles payment and shipping. Hope you enjoy that discussion. I'm really excited that we have this bumper coming in a couple months. And keep an eye out for upcoming videos where we unbox this bumper and get it installed. And if you enjoy this video, please give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Thanks a lot. I spent a lot of time a couple years ago comparing all the different rear bumpers that were available for the 100 Series. And I ended up narrowing it down between the Slee rear bumper and the Dissent rear bumper. And at the time, you had to cut the rear cross member for the Dissent rear bumper. And so I kind of had my heart set on going with Slee, had some really good experiences with them. I also really like the ladder that the Slee bumper has because I thought I could attach different things to that and come up with my own ideas for how to use that for different accessories. Fast forward a couple years and Ben at Dissent Off-Road has come up with a no-cut rear bumper. So I had to kind of assess between the Slee rear bumper and the Dissent rear bumper again. I know there are a lot of other 100 Series rear bumper options out there now. A couple years ago, it was pretty slim pickings. I looked at some of those briefly, but to be honest with you, my heart was set on the Dissent bumper, and there's a few key reasons why I went with Dissent. I really like the look of the Dissent bumper. It's just attractive to me, always caught my eye, so that was one big reason. Another reason is the modularity. Some people aren't really sure about it because the bumper comes in multiple pieces and you bolt it together, but that's also one of the strengths. The swing outs, for instance, you can swap the accessories back and forth. It's going to be easy to change them in the future. While there maybe is some downfall of having everything bolt together, I'm going to solve that as best I can with a lot of red Loctite and have that option to do some different things in the future. The other cool thing about the bumper is it comes with a lot of standard options. It has 2 LED lights built into the bumper, it has recovery points, and the rear tire swing out also has a mount for a high lift jack and a cool little table that pops up for when you're parked at camp. And the bumper also has a receiver hitch built into it. Dissent offers a couple different accessory trays. One is designed for 3 jerry cans and has tall sides, and then there's one that's a little more flexible you can use for just about anything. It's got a really low lip around the edge. I might be using that for either my grill that I like to take with me. It'll also fit a Yeti cooler, and if I wanted to, I could put jerry cans back there. I also saw someone that had a Rotopack fuel can mounted to the bottom of it, so I might try to do something like that for water or maybe fuel. I usually find that I need more water than fuel, even though these things get terrible gas mileage. And another cool feature of the accessory tray is it also has a receiver hitch built into it that you can use for a bike rack or some other kind of thing that you might carry on the back of your vehicle. If you haven't seen the welds on these bumpers, you got to take a look at them. The welding is absolutely beautiful. Another reason why I wanted to support Dissent Off-Road is because Ben at Dissent Off-Road has been a huge supporter of the 100 Series community and makes a lot of cool stuff. And I really like supporting those smaller companies that are doing cool things for our rigs. You can find a lot of information on this bumper out on I Hate Mud. There's also a really nice Instagram feed where you can see a lot of pictures of the different products he's producing. And his website as well has some of the prices, and you can kind of get an idea of what one of these bumpers is going to cost. I'll make sure to put a link to the thread for this bumper and to Dissent Off-Road in the description below. Also be sure to check out the other products on Dissent Off-Road's website. They make a lot of really nice things, including really cool looking front bumpers as well as roof racks. After scouring I Hate Mud and the Dissent Off-Road webpage, I still had a ton of questions about the bumper and the different accessories that are available. So I gave Ben at Dissent Off-Road a call to get some answers to those questions. Ben's a really nice guy, and he quickly helped me understand what was available and the costs that were involved. I captured that discussion, and hopefully it's going to help you with the questions that you have on your journey in selecting a rear bumper for your 100 Series Land Cruiser. If you decide to go with the Dissent Off-Road bumper, please let Ben know that I sent you. Thanks a lot, and hope you enjoy the discussion.
Well, this is Ben.
Hey Ben, this is Chuck Brady. How are you?
Hey, good. How you doing?
Pretty good. Trying to get a hold of you and see if we could talk about a bumper.
Yeah, we can.
All right. Gosh, I've got tons of questions for you.
All right.
I've seen a lot of pictures with the bumpers. They come in bare metal, and you don't powder coat at this point.
We've been shipping some coated. However, the issues we're running into now is, I guess, there's a lack of boxes. So we technically can. However, if for some reason we can't get the boxes we need to do so, it makes it quite tough to do it and get them to you undamaged. Shipping is $350 for the sandblast, primer, and powder on a dual swing out. By that time, I'm hoping we will be in a better box situation, but it's got me a little nervous.
It's about 12 to 16 weeks, something like that.
Correct, yep.
Okay. How much lighter are the aluminum bumpers, and do you have any particular thoughts on the aluminum versus the steel?
So on the front, you're looking at about half the weight. Now, aluminum's going to be, on the new ultra high clearance, it's going to be about 45 to 50-ish pounds.
Okay.
In aluminum, and then steel is about 95 pounds. On the rear, the weight obviously depends on the options, but you're looking at about a 60 to 70 pound savings. On the front, there's not really any downside to the aluminum. So really, other than the cost difference, but really that's the only reason most people stray away from the aluminum on the front. On the rear, it depends on what you're using and what we're hauling back there.
Okay.
There is one reinforcement that we can get on the 200 that we cannot fit on the 100 on the aluminum bumper, which probably would never pose an issue, but basically you get a little more twist in the rear bumper once you start hanging a lot of leverage off of the swing arms. Jerry cans back there, and then if you wanted to add that camp kitchen thing in the future, and jacks, and possibly bikes back there, we recommend going steel. If you're just doing kind of a minimum basic attire, maybe a basket or a tray, the aluminum's just fine. As far as trail use, really very similar, but they're both going to take a hit just fine. The aluminum's going to gouge a little easier if you're dragging over sharp rocks all the time.
I'm kind of torn between the aluminum. I really thought that I wanted the aluminum just for the weight savings because my Land Cruiser's already really, really heavy. But what I don't want to do is not do it and then end up loading it later and then being worried about it.
Yeah, and it's a little different too. I mean, your situation, sounds like the bumper's kind of one of the last, rear bumper's kind of one of the last things.
Right, it is. Yeah.
If the whole build wasn't weight conscious, it's really not going to make much of a... Say you put a steel bumper on and aluminum bumper on by itself.
Right.
You're not going to feel the difference.
Right.
You're not going to notice that 60 pounds on an already heavy rig. It's when on the whole build process, like when you start from scratch and you're going aluminum wherever you can, then we're talking 50, 60 pounds on each item, which equals several hundred at the end of it. You do feel that. But right now, I don't think you'd throw an aluminum bumper on there and notice any difference from the steel.
Primarily interested, I think, in the standard accessory tray, just because I have a Q grill that I carry sometimes, and I think that would be good for that. And then I also have a Yeti that I might put on there sometimes.
Okay. That would probably suit your needs best then.
Things that I see, like the camp kitchen and some of those other options, how many different things do you have available in that sort of range?
A camp kitchen setup is more of a custom built deal.
Right.
Really a production item. It might eventually get there, but it's very expensive and time consuming to produce. And we got a lot of different things to add on to that. That being said, we also have the ladder risers and accessory panels, which is what all that stuff, all the camp kitchen, that rear jack door, everything attaches to.
Gotcha.
So that does fit on the 100 as well. Basically everything you've seen on the 200 will fit on the 100. It just depends on your use, like for what you're doing. If you want to carry some larger ice chest or your stove or whatever back there, that tray is probably going to be the most versatile for you. The accessory panels are more versatile for just putting on random things, max tracks, roto packs, fuel, water, axes, shovels. Just you can attach a lot of things to those panels. But if you have larger items that you're trying to haul back there, the panels are not a great way to go.
And it looks like you're inventing stuff all the time, so I'm sure there'll be other things at some point that will pop up there. How do you handle payment?
So it's 50% down and the rest due when it's ready to ship.
Okay.
we do need a business address with a forklift or a loading dock, or your nearest XPO Logistics Service Center.
I'm assuming this is something that I will be able to get into a pickup truck. Is that fair?
Correct.
Fair
Yeah,
to
so it
assume?
would be, it would be just on a standardized 40 by 48.
I'm good to go if you want to go ahead and work something up.
What I'll have you do is shoot me an email with all contact info, shipping info if you have it. If not, just put to be determined, vehicle info, and then your order list, and I can get an invoice going. I'll analyze everything, so just check it out. But yeah, once I get all that, I can send you over the invoice, deposit pay, and get you in the queue.
That sounds awesome, man. Thank you so much. All right, man. Have a good one. Yeah, good talking to you.
You as well.
Okay, take it easy. Bye. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. Thanks a lot for your support, and keep an eye out for our upcoming videos on our Dissent Off-Road bumper.
If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel. And always feel free to leave us any comments or questions that you might have.